Hey guys, Riley from the Sleep Consultant here, and I just wanted to shoot a quick video for you to show you exactly what it takes to achieve version U 2.0. You see, the version of yourself now and the version of yourself that you want to be are two separate things that are happening, and there is a version of you. In order to get to, you have to read certain business tactics, you have to understand, new modes of thinking and everything else, and that's very important. But where I want to focus is on your inner machinery. What if the vehicle you were driving could only go up to, let's say, 100 miles an hour? But what if the new vehicle that you jump into, or if you upgrade your own machinery, that could go up to 200 miles per hour? Well, imagine how much faster you could get to your goal. And you still do the same things, you read the same business tactics and everything else. But the important part is here, when you upgrade the internal machinery, you can get to where you want to be a lot more effortlessly and a lot faster. So here's what you want to look at and what you want to do. There's different parts of your personality and different parts of who you are. The first part is your stress resilience. Different areas of your stress resilience involve how well can you adapt to stress. If you were to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, your stress level, let's say it's at an 8. Well, it's really hard to achieve your goals if your body is always amped up and you can't close deals properly, you can't close sales calls properly, but it's even hard to think. And extra stress will lead to extra brain fog, and that leads to extra procrastination. That extra procrastination means you're not accomplishing your goals fast enough. And where does that translate to? Well, that's revenue in your business, that's freedom, that's achieving more time with your loved ones, that is becoming a more effective leader, and so much more. So resilience is number one. So what I want you to do right now is rate your stress resilience 1 out of 10. Where does that stand right now? Got it? Okay, good. The next one I want you to rate is your focus. What would you say your focus is 1 out of 10? Would you say 1 being not focused at all, your mind is completely scattered, and 10 being extremely focused, where you have a monk-like focus, where you do not deviate from a task for 10, 12 hours at a time, possibly? It is possible and achievable. What is that 1 out of 10 for you right now? The next one I want you to rate is your current energy. Where is your energy? At any point in the day, does it slump, or is that a 10 out of 10 all day without the need to take any stimulants at all whatsoever? If you have a slump, then chances are you're probably not a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10. And if you rely on coffee to achieve energy, well, that's fake energy, and that's very temporary. And so what we want instead is clean, sustainable energy that lasts all day long. So I want you to rate your energy 1 out of 10. Where does it currently stand? Got it? Okay, good. The next one I want you to look at is your creativity. How well can you come up with new business ideas? Maybe you're writing social media posts. How well can you think of terms outside of the box that is different from what everyone else in your niche is talking about? If you find it very difficult to come up with new ideas, or you have writer's block, or you can't really think outside of the box and you find yourself being very logical, there's a good chance you don't have creativity or flow, and there's parts of your brain that aren't entirely unlocked yet. Rate that 1 out of 10. Where do you currently stand? Got it? Okay, good. The next one I want you to look at is your current body. How happy are you with your body? Where is it? Are you overweight, or are you currently at a weight where you're looking to gain more muscle mass? Everybody is different. If you are a 10 out of 10, maybe you have a chiseled Adonis physique, or if you're a female, you have all the muscle definition that you're looking for, and you're entirely satisfied with your body. If you're not satisfied at all, rate that 1 out of 10, where you currently stand. The next one I want you to look at is your current longevity. So with your current lifestyle now, for how healthy you are, where do you think your longevity would be? It's a pretty serious question to ask ourselves, but when do we think we're going to live until? Is it 80? Is it 90? Is it 100? Is it 120? And if so, why? You want to be very realistic with this. So the current trajectory you're on, I want you to rate that 1 out of 10. The next one I want you to look at is your current overall, life vitality, your purpose, your mission, and so much more. What would you rate that out of 10? Got it? Good. So these are some of the key facets of the current version of ourselves. And they're either low on the scale or high on the scale. And we always want to be better versions of ourselves. But if we're really realistic of where we currently stand, we can see where our current situation is, what our desired situation is, and all we need to do is fill that gap to get to our desired situation. All we need to do for that is by just jumping into a faster vehicle, increasing the efficiency of our machinery, and we can get there so much faster. And this is where we see true life transformation happen, whether it's in your personal life, your business life, and so much more. Now, what I want you to do is take all of these scores that you had 1 out of 10, and I want you to calculate the sum total. Next, I want you to calculate for every single metric that we looked at. I want you to do add, so it was out of 10. So what is that total? So for each one dimension that you had as a sum total, add 10 to it. So maybe it's out of 60, maybe it's out of 70, like the example that we just gave. And then what I want you to do is to take your current score from all the sums where you rated yourself and divide that by where you currently are. And so maybe for you, it is 35 out of 70. Maybe you're 23 out of 70. Maybe you're 50 out of 70. Rate that down and come up with a calculated percentage and see where you currently fall. Got it? Good. Next, what I want you to do is theoretically rate where do you want to be. Like realistically, if everything was working perfectly, would you rate each of those things 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10? Think about it now and rate each of those scores out of 10. Now what you want to do is compare those scores side by side. You'll see, maybe your old score is 35 out of 70. Now your new score is 53 out of 70 or 63 out of 70 or maybe 68 out of 70. Now, if you compare those two, you can see the drastic increase that you can achieve just by increasing the percent and score 1 out of 10 for focus, energy, and so much more. You see, we really look at these things like energy, focus, really in silo. We don't really know like what does that exactly mean. And so that's why we have to take a meta level analysis and really look and think at if our energy was to increase, if our focus was to increase, if our longevity, if our vitality, if our extroversion, our expressiveness, and so much more, our ability to read people, the tone of our voice, how happy we were, people just naturally wanted to be around us. Everything becomes a lot more effortless when we become this new version of ourselves because each one of these elements is just so much better. But what goes in behind that machinery? Like, how do we actually improve it? We think of focus as, we just have to sit down, focus, or maybe it's meditation. If it's energy, we just need to drink more coffee to become energized and stimulated, but it's just for the short term. And then we need more of that to continually increase it. For some people, longevity, they just think, well, we'll just live a healthy lifestyle and that's really all we need. But to be honest, it's so much more than that. In fact, if we were to upgrade our internal machinery, if you can think of your body just like a car, where there's all these gears spinning, and if you were to zoom in, there'd be all these little workers working on your body trying to make it function. And if you were to think, like, are they really working in overtime and are they extremely stressed? Or is it really like this well-oiled machine where everything is just working in rhythm as it should? It's extremely efficient and there's room for even an excessive surplus where that excessive surplus just goes into building yourself up. And what that translates to is your output, your productivity, your performance, your longevity, your well-being, your stress tolerance, and so much more, just in your happiness, just going in an upward spiral. But you really have to trace it back to the root cause. Like, where does that all come from? Yes, energy is cool and everything, but if you're able to, for example, your energy, upgrade your mitochondria, there's a part of the machinery. Or maybe for focus, it's your brain neurotransmitters. Maybe that's dopamine. Well, how do we get better dopamine? Well, dopamine comes from many different byproducts and cofactors that we need to produce that. Well, a lot of that is stimulated inside of our gut. And you see, it's a lot like a Jenga puzzle. If one area of our biology in that system starts to break down, it's like pulling out that one puzzle piece. And then let's say another one doesn't work as it should. Then we start to pull out another block. And eventually we pull out so many and there's stress on each area that the whole thing comes tumbling down. And that's related to you feeling completely burnt out and eating coffee all the time. Or maybe it's just brain fog and you're not there yet. It depends on how far along you are in your journey, the genetics you were born with, and so much more. But I just want to really bring this philosophical viewpoint to you of you really can transform yourself, but there's so much focus in the industry today on working on business tactics. What type of new software do we have to buy? And those are all extremely, extremely important. But what's even more important is, we really can come up with the ideas ourselves in order to achieve success, but only if we're operating at our full potential. If we're being held back from brain fog and so much more, we're really, creating a bottleneck on our overall performance, creativity, and so much more that would allow us to achieve our dreams, our goals, and things like that. So my message to you today is this: focus on the internal machinery first, And that outward reality that you're looking to experience is automatically going to manifest itself. And I know it sounds very woo-woo, but the truth is I've seen it time and time again. So focus on the inside. Focus on getting to the root cause of where exactly is this brain fog or something else coming from that will lead to poor productivity. And from that place, you will get so much further ahead. If you have any questions or anything else, or if you would like to have a free sleep assessment, you can definitely just reach out to me directly down below, and we can really just take a look at your inner biology to see what exactly is going on. I wish you a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now.